And I'm going to be perfectly honest. If you are not a fan of sharing tables with strangers and you like to have your time dining, MSC dining may not be for you. I'm not saying that MSC Cruise Line is not for you, but their dining experience in their main dining room may not be for you. Hi, I'm Dawn, solo travel enthusiast. You can call me D-Love, which is my nickname. I'm Travel with D-Love on all socials. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share and follow. Probably 80 to 90% of the time I solo travel, and I, for the most part, take cruises. So I am an ambivert. So ambivert means that you can be introverted or extroverted. You can be equally balanced between the both, or you can have one more side higher than the other. For me, I am more introverted than I am extroverted, especially when it comes to being around people and having to do stuff that I don't want to do. Okay, for instance, I'm talking about MSC Cruise Line, my experience. So I'll first talk about the first MSC cruise that I went on, because I've been on two. So the first one was MSC Seashore. So both of these cruises, the first night I did the specialty dinings. They usually sit you at your own table. You don't have to worry about talking to anybody if you don't want to. And let me say this, it's not that I don't like talking to people. As I stated, I'm usually more introverted than I am extroverted, but I am sometimes extroverted and I will talk to people. But if you force me to talk to people that I don't want to talk to, that's when there's a problem. And MSC's dining is and can become that type of problem. And it was a 3-night cruise. So the other 2 nights, I was supposed to either do the MDR, or your other choice, if you don't have specialty dining, is, of course, the buffet. And I think it's because I got the cruise last minute. I got a great deal on it. They even upgraded me to a balcony room. So because I got this cruise last minute, even though I got a great deal on it, they only had the super early time left. So they automatically put me in that super early time slot as my dining time every night at a shared table in the MDR. I did the specialty dining in the steakhouse. I had my own table. Solo cruiser, solo table. I wasn't sat at a group table with people. They gave me like a 2-seater table, like a dining table that 2 people could sit at, and it's not close to other tables and everything like that. So that was nice. Because they upgraded me to a balcony, I, for the most part, stayed in my room, stayed on my balcony, chilled, had some me time. So I was, for the most part, introverted on this cruise. And I didn't want to be bothered on this cruise. So that meant that I did not want to be at a shared table with people that I did not pick to be with. Plus, that early dining really turned me off. That they just put me in at like 5:30, 6 o'clock, and I can't stand eating super early. Like I just had lunch and now all of a sudden I got to go to dinner. No, I don't like that. So I had already made up in my mind, I am not going to the MDR on this cruise, because I do not want to be bothered with people that I do not choose to sit with. So don't get me wrong, it wasn't completely introverted. I actually did some things. I went out because on these 3-day cruises, they usually have MSC has both days are port days. They don't have a sea day on 3-day cruises. So the first day was Bahamas, and the second was Ocean Cape, which is their private island. Sitting at the beach, relaxing. And I actually met people that I was talking to there, because I met people that had the same interests with me, and we got along and we were having nice conversations. So that's the thing. I like to pick the people that I want to sit with, talk with, whatever. I'm not the type of person that is going to talk to everybody. I don't like everybody like that. So they have to have something. You have to have the same type of interest or something like that. The conversation has to be productive. I'm not going to just talk to talk. I don't like small talk. Period. I don't. I never have, never will. The only thing that I really did besides the ports was I went to the sail-away party. The sail-away party was amazing. For this specific ship, they kind of tailored it, mirrored it kind of after how Carnival's old sail-away parties were. Not the way they remixed it, but the way they had it before. They used to play like the wobble and booty shaking song, stuff like that. It was that type of sail-away, and I was shocked and amazed because I was not expecting that, because of some people giving their opinion and reviews and stuff like that. They're talking about the entertainment sucked and this, that, and the third, yin yang twins, blase spleets, right? So that's why I had to go experience it for myself. So I'm like, what in the world were these people talking about? Because that thing was thangin'. You hear me? It was awesome. That was a great sail-away party. They got a great cruise director there, the fun squad, all of that stuff, amazing on the seashore. But as far as like shows, like comedy shows or theatrical shows and things like that, the white party, tropical party, silent party, whatever parties that they had, I did not do any of those. I was introverted the rest of the cruise. Besides, going to eat and getting on the porch and things like that, I was in my room for the most part, chilling in the room, sitting on that balcony, chilling, right? Enjoying my quiet time. So the first night was the specialty dining, and night 2 and 3, the last 2 nights, I said, okay, I'm just going to go to the buffet. So the buffet, you don't have to sit with anybody. You have your own private seat. So both times I sat by the window or near the window or near somewhere where I didn't have to be bothered with people. I sat by myself and enjoyed my food by myself, listened to my audiobook. That was that, right? The most recent cruise that I went on, MSC Grandiosa, different story. This time I was more extroverted. And I believe the reason what can cause me to be either extroverted or introverted is the type of room that I have as well. Like I stated, they upgraded me, gave me a free upgrade to a balcony on the seashore. Grandiosa, I had an inside room. So the inside room, usually when I have those, I do the necessities, but I don't stay in the room like that. I'm out doing stuff. So I was more extroverted on this cruise. Of course, the first night, I did the specialty dining again, but I did the teppanyaki this time, or as Americans we call it hibachi. So I did the teppanyaki, and they had a lot of solo cruisers on at this specialty dining. This time, because I was able to pick my scheduled dining time, they had the early, they had the middle, and then they had the late evening. I was able to pick the middle one, which was 7 p.m. Perfect. That's the perfect time for me to eat. So I said, okay, for the second night, I'm going to try the MDR at the shared table. My extrovertedness was out. I also went to a show every night. So they have shows that you can pay for, and they have shows that are free. I love Cirque du Soleil. I love the theater. I love musicals. So every show that they had, I was in attendance. The ones you paid for and the ones that were free. That, as long as they were at different times. So I went to shows. I went and listened to music. I was extroverted this time. So when I got to the MDR and sat at my shared table, so since this was the first time, I didn't know where my table was. They give you the number and tell you where you sit and all that kind of stuff. So they had to take me to the table. These people are very attentive that work in these dining rooms, in this dining room on the Grandiosa anyway. Person was very attentive. Had two, the wait staff was like two people. It was a lady and a man. And they were like, oh, you weren't here last night. You're new, whatever. And they were, saying welcome. I was telling them that I had specialty dining, whatever. So when I got to the table, it was like 4 or 5 people at the table, women. I think it was like before they had the 2 men, but they were sitting at the next table over or whatever, 2 young guys. And these ladies were telling me that, they were flirting with them or whatever. One was married. It was just, some stuff going on. But anyway, I came this time and I met these ladies. They were actually together traveling with a group. Like they had some type of group travel with coming out of Orlando. They all lived in Orlando area, whatever. They were like, they knew each other, but they didn't know each other. They're traveling like a group travel. So they eat together or whatever. So anyway, I was talking to them, and a lot of them were, we had things in common with. So, the conversation was pretty good. I found out one was originally used to live in Michigan and was from Michigan or something like that, something along that line. We found out we had some stuff in common. Then another lady came a little bit later, maybe 20, 25 minutes later. And she hadn't been there the night before either. So she was new to the table. And we were sitting, we were talking and getting to know each other and, having a pretty good time. And I said she was 20 to 25 minutes later. Now, this is another different thing that MSC does. I can only compare it to Carnival, because Carnival is the only one where I've done scheduled dining at. And that's the only reason why I did the scheduled dining is because I was on a group cruise. And they wanted everybody to sit at the same time, right? So that's the only reason why. And we ended up, the people that I was with, we ended up doing the your time, changing ours to your time dining at the end, because we didn't like that scheduled time where you got to eat at the same time every night mess. But you had to be there at that time that they have you scheduled for Carnival. They didn't have any leeway or whatever. MSC, they give you leeway. She came in 20, 25 minutes late. I came in like right when it started. These people, they were already seated, right before the time or whatever. That's why they were already there. But she came in a little bit later. As long as you come during your time, they will seat you. And they have the times pretty spread out. So if you were 7 o'clock, the next one is not until like 9 o'clock or something like that. So you got like 2 hours, you know what I mean? You got a 2 hour, pretty much like an hour and a half, 2 hour time frame where you can, come in and enjoy. So the conversation, like I said, was nice. The food was pretty good. Not all ladies. I was cordial talking to them, but not all ladies. All of the people at the table I was talking to like that. I was having conversations with, people that I had more stuff in common with. The lady that I was sitting next to, I don't think we had anything in common. So actually, some of us hung out after the dinner and went to the casino, whatever, had drinks, whatever. I had a show after that, so I had to get to my show. One that I paid for. It was like a Cirque du Soleil type show. So I got to my show, and that was pretty much the night. The thing is, if you have a show or something like that, they have a lot of stuff going on at the same time. So like a white party, old school party, whatever type of party that they have, they have different themes every night, shine the night or whatever. They usually have these parties start like around the same time as the shows sometimes. So either that or it's like right after or something like that. But anyway, I didn't get to go to those shows either because it was at the same time as my theatrical shows, and I love theater, I love plays. And I love Cirque du Soleil, so musicals, different things like that. That's my number one. I love that. And on the cruise ships, I'm going to go to them. So the different parties, I dressed up in my attire to go to the white party, but I didn't realize that they were at the same time or whatever. I had everything that you need to, to dress up and everything, but I didn't get to go to those parties because, like I said, my priorities were elsewhere. The first port was Bahamas. This time I didn't get off, so I stayed on the ship and I just did stuff on the ship. And a lot of people had the same idea, I guess, and I didn't like that because I wanted to. I think it was a little bit cold, so I wasn't going to get in the water anyway. But I wanted to chill by, getting a jacuzzi, something. You know what I mean? With the adults and stuff. But they had the same idea, so they were hogging up stuff. But I did get to get a nice seat by the, look at the ocean and things like that. I did get off on Ocean Cay, and every time I will get off on Ocean Cay because that is by far my favorite private island, and I'll talk about that in another video. So fast forward to the last night, the third night, I was debating if I wanted to go back to the MDR or if I wanted to go to the buffet, and I should have went to the buffet, and let me tell you why. When I got there this time, there was nobody at the table. I got there right when it started again. Nobody was at the table. I was like, oh man, I'm the only one tonight. Finally, probably about 10-15 minutes later, the lady that was sitting next to me, the one I was saying we didn't really have anything in common with, she came in, and I was like, well, where is everybody? Just asking questions because those are her group people that she came in with, the Orlando group or whatever, solo cruise group, whatever it is. And she's like, yeah, she said one person may be coming. I don't know about the other ones. And the other lady that came late the other night, she said she might come back, but she didn't. But anyway, so it was just us two, and she was sitting next to me, and small talk, because we don't have anything in common. So of course, like, if you're forcing me to talk to somebody that I don't have anything in common with, there's nothing to talk about. My introverted stuff is going to kick in, and it started to kick in. So the only thing I was doing was answering questions that she asked. I was not started stringing up the conversation myself. I wasn't asking her stuff. She was the one leading the conversation. She finally caught the revelation after probably about 20 minutes. She finally caught the revelation that So after she, finished her food, she was saying, okay, I'm going to do such and such to get ready for the show that I'm going to. And I think our show was at 9 o'clock or 8:30 or something along that line. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm going to the same show. Just being cordial or whatever. And normally, if the conversation was flowing good and we had something in common, whatever, I would have said, I would meet you there just like the night before. I'll meet you there. Oh, okay, I'll save you a seat or whatever. We can sit together, whatever. She said she's going to her show. She was leaving. She was doing something else. She caught the revelation that I did not want to be bothered with her. So that was that on that one. I should have went to the buffet. I'm sitting at that table, feeling awkward and uncomfortable talking to somebody that I don't have anything in common with. And I could have been at the buffet, sitting by myself, sitting by the window, listening to an audio book, listening to music, whatever I was doing by myself, and not having to be uncomfortable. So next time I'm going to go with my first mind. My first mind said go to the buffet. I didn't do it. Ended up coming in there, sitting at that big old table by myself. So, like I stated, if you are introverted or if you are an ambivert and you sway more on the introverted side, the MDR on MSC cruise lines may not be for you. Now, I'm not sure how the yacht club experience is because I have not done that one yet. Somebody may be able to chime in to say, if you have your personalized experience with them, because I know, I think you have like a butler or something, you may be able to eat in your room. You know what I mean? You don't have to go to the places, or if you go there, you have your own table or whatever. It may be different from the regular Degler stuff, the regular Degler experience. It's like 3 experiences that are under that, and they're all shared dining, but they don't have any your time dining on MSC cruise lines. And that's one thing that I do not like about MSC cruise line. They don't have the your time dining, and you can't sit at a solo table. You have to have a scheduled dining and sit at the same table every night. Hope this helps somebody. And I can be found on all socials at Travel with D Love.